Hello, everyone. This is Coach Gerard Rucker, quarterback specialist with Ruckletics Training, LLC, the quarterback experience. Coming to you once again with a one-on-one training session with the one and only Pete Zamora, Broward County legend for the Optimist level, formerly of Plantation Optimist, now with Cardinal Gibbons Senior High School as a freshman. We starting off our session here, as you can see, with the bungee cord, resistance training, working the lateral movement. Of course, playing quarterback, we've got to be strong moving laterally, keeping our shoulders square and being able to find our balance quickly. So all this is a reinforcement of that. This is something we normally start off with. What's different now is that we've added the option pitch. We want to add as much as we possibly can and touch on things that we may very well be using within a game type of situation. It's my thought process that as I train young men, I never know fully what they're going into as far as their coaching is concerned and what will be put in the playbook. But whatever is put in the playbook, we want to do our best to make sure that the young men are prepared as much as possible to perform and be confident in it. So what you've seen so far is the lateral movements where he's gone with the base walks and with the option pitch. He moved on from there with the side skips with the option pitch to the shuffle with the option pitch. And now we're working on his drop back as if he's throwing the shuffle pass. Right now, the last part that we do here, of course, this isn't lateral movement, but again, just a bungee cord sprint and pull back. He's working on his pitch. And we're going to be working on his left and right hand pitching the ball. Now, as you can see with this, we want to try our best to stay upright and not bend at the waist. Of course, this takes practice and a lot of effort and concentration. Pete's come a really long way as a quarterback, but he's always been a very talented and very special young man to train. Very passionate about the position. He wears it on his sleeve. Right now we're going into that side skip again. What we're trying to do within this 4.5 yard space, trying to get 3 in off the side skip and then go ahead and get that pitch out. Again, he's doing a pretty good job of that. You want to keep on working on staying upright and using the core more. I want that hip and the belt buckle to go towards that target a little bit more as he makes that pitch. And for him to stay upright. In this particular portion of our prehab, we're concentrating on leg, core strength, that groin area, hips, being powerful, and being able to direct our power exactly where we want it to go. Improving flexibility as well. As you can see, he's holding a medicine ball here with doing his side lunges. With these here, you want to make sure you go as deep as possible. It's about the stretch as well, and also getting up. So it's strengthening and working the flexibility. From here, he's going to go into his front lunges and twisting. And we want to twist both directions. Um, when we do this here, it's something to take note of. I'd like to see that ball up a little bit higher, more around that chest, promoting that tall upper body, because we want to bend at the knees and not at the waist. That heavy ball can be a little bit annoying, but um, that the ball is is around 10 pounds, so it's very much manageable. I call this here the crouching tiger, hidden dragon. It's good for working on the hips and promoting the flexibility. I'm looking for him. I have that bag there, pretty much for him to tap with the knee, come back up with it. We want to stay even with the feet as much as we possibly can. Again, this is all about strengthening and flexibility, while keeping that ball up as well. One of the things you're going to see him do after this here will be the ball slams overhead directly, from side to side, heel to heel. The last thing he'll be doing, performing, will be the ball tosses on both sides. So you want to go high overhead here, smash that ball down. Pete has a very, very quick release. He's a lot stronger than he may even look. And one thing I can tell you, that if he works, he's having fun while he's doing it. Right now, he's getting up. We got that back leg down. We're gonna work on twisting that hip through. Establishing that back foot in the ground first, and propelling himself forward as he tosses the ball through. Really working on leading with the hip. One thing you can see is that he leaves that foot behind some, or it kicks back as opposed to coming forward. That's something that we're going to continue to work on as time progresses. It's going to only help to make him stronger and help his pass all the way through. Again, he's got a very quick release, which is very good with the short to intermediate passing game. As we get into the deep passing game, we really got to incorporate those legs a lot more. So this is one of the drills that I like to use in our prehab segment to reinforce using the legs, doing his best to stay upright at the waist, bending at the knee, and propelling himself through with that back leg. Right now we're into our passing warm-up, and as you can see, Pete is kneeling with both knees down towards his target, elbow going back to the sky, working on the tail end of the throw, how the snap of it at the end, elbow towards the target. So his elbow's going to be going back towards the sky and snapping back forward when I call ball. Again, we're working on the tail end of the throw as we perform this particular drill. It's something I picked up from Coach Couch, a father of former University of Kentucky standout and legend, Tim Couch. Right now, we're going through with our regular follow-through passing on as we're still kneeling down here. Pete, I want you to take note of that back foot and the direction of the hip on your right hip. So we're turning and we're coming through and we're making that throw, but as we're making that throw, the hip is pretty much spread outside of me. And what I want to see that rotation come through. That last throw right there, I saw somewhat of a rotation. But I want to try and keep it more forward. So what I want to do is, as we move forward, that back foot, instead of it having to hang behind the left leg like that, I'd rather keep it a little bit more straight. Again, I want to reinforce that hip coming through the target. We've now moved into the standing stationary segment of our passing warm-up. Again, this is just a reinforcement of proper technique and form going through the throw. I'm looking for him to really get the hip through, rotating at the waist, bending at the knee, snapping the wrist and finishing the throw in the opposite pocket, thumb down, while eliminating as much of a tilt or lean as possible. Pete does a really good job of getting that ball out very, very quickly. We're going to continue to work on eliminating that tilt as much as possible. There is going to be somewhat of a tilt. I don't want to say that there won't be any at all. There will be somewhat of a tilt. But the overall goal is to be able to be square to our target as much as possible. And instead of him leaning to feel like he needs to get that arm over the top, we want to try and stay square with the target and get the arm up and over with that ball. He's very strong. And I think this happens with a lot of quarterbacks, especially the younger they are, or even it even depends also on the distance in which they're going to be throwing. The further away, the more the lean happens. So as guys get stronger, we want to continue to reinforce great technique and form going through the throw. Pete has grown a whole lot when it's come to that. Still have our ways to go, but I'm proud of the progress. We've now entered into our hip propeller / full follow through passing motion. What I want to see is 3 movements as if he's getting ready to throw the football, and then the 4th one he's actually going to throw it. So he's working on framing me with his feet and propelling his hip through his target. That front foot is going to clear the way for that back hip to come through. Very good throw there. So I want the ball directly towards my chin. But he's framing me with his feet. He's putting the hard work in with his feet to make sure that it's easy for him to get that ball out quickly and accurately. So step, step, step. And then the 4th one I call ball. He comes with the throw. We want to do a better job moving forward of eliminating as much of a tilt as possible. So what has to happen is we keep doing these drills here, working on framing. He has to continue to get stronger, and we're going to continue to work on getting that arm up and over quickly without having to tilt. Because again, there will be tilting from time to time, but for the most part, we want to eliminate it to promote proper balance. And again, the further away the throw, the more likely you're going to see a tilt with quarterbacks to making certain throws until they get strong enough to not have to rely on snatching their head out of the way or bending their body. Quick feet, get it down. We got to continue to get stronger off that back leg. Here we are getting ready to go into another portion of our passing warm-up. We've included the ladder drills here with a dynamic passing motion or with a dynamic movement in the pass. And dynamic movements happen when I speak of that. I'm talking about quick movements where he's got to get the ball out to a target relatively quickly, shifting his body in a certain way. Things in particular would be like niles right off the line of scrimmage, or quick hitches, as some would call them, bubbles, where we have to get all the way up and over, get our hips over. So here I have him going through the ladder, performing 2 different ladder drills. He goes through transitioning, but he's throwing to me in 3 different angles. So in each one, he's got to work his hips differently to find me and get himself aligned to make a throw. Again, I'm looking for alignment, balance, and control. As you can see in that last one there, It was a lean and a tilt to try and make that throw. So we got to be very careful to always put ourselves in positions of power to make passes like we should. We want to throw from a balanced position as much as possible. Again, alignment, balance, control. Alignment, balance, control. So what we should have seen then, as he exited the ladder, was from him to get in a strong position, universal athletic position, and really propel his hip throughout that back leg, really twist through. So we're going to go on about 3 or 4 different angles in order to perform this drill. So go ahead and watch and see how he performs all the way through. We're now moving into our pass game / progression segment of our training session. Right now we're going over the play call out of the spread 2x2 set. Fake 23, zone, F cross. And we're going over the first look in the progression, which would be the go route from our Z receiver. He's taking an outside release, and we're looking there depending on down and distance, for instance, and also field position. So if we are within our 20-yard line, or backed up, we're close to the goal line, more than likely we wouldn't go there unless it's absolutely wide open. But if we're looking to move the chains, we're really looking at this here between the 35-yard line on both sides of the field. So what Pete is going to do here after the fake, we're going with a one-hand pop fake. He should be snapping that ball in and snapping his head around very quickly. In case we are we have that guy coming from the outside, number one, to protect himself. Number two, find out what's going on downfield. We may have a cover 2 situation and he may have to hit it within that window. We also may have a cover 1 situation, and depending on the coverage, it's going to dictate what type of throw he's going to make. Nevertheless, he's got to be quick getting his head around and seeing what's going on. And it's better for him as well because he doesn't have to take so long to make that throw. Find the receiver. When he's leaving, get ready to make the throw and get out your hands. What we're doing right here, though, we're going 6 throws. 3 of the first 3 are going to be him throwing on the run. The next 3 will be him setting up to make the throw. It's very important as he gets around. You see him set his feet. He's very comfortable in doing this here. Got to make sure that we, put pressure on that back foot, drive it into the ground to propel it forward. So that's what I'm looking for with him, especially when we're going to throwing on the run. And make sure you have your feet up underneath you as well to make that throw. So a few things: snap the head around, be quick, see what's happening, and get the ball out your hand a little quicker. All right, we got to be quick getting out from under center. So everything has to be powerful and sharp and with a purpose. Good shot. Moving on, same pass play. Second progression now, we're hitting the 10-yard out. As you can see, Pete is coming around, and I'm clapping my hands quickly, pretty much to get him to get his body lined up with me as quickly as possible to make that throw on time. So, we got a lot of guys who can really get out and downfield quickly, and after we come out of this fake, we need to be ready to make that throw, especially against the right coverages. This is great against cover 1, against cover 3, and against cover 4. So man coverage and coverage is where the cornerbacks are dropping back. He does a good job right here, really exploding and getting around. And again, everything is, as we come around and we want to make this throw on the run, we want to get our guy within our frame. When I say the frame, I'm talking about chest and waist, everything, those things, the middle of our body, lining up with our target. Pete does a pretty good job in this round doing that. It's all about being quick. You get around here slow, we're going to miss it. We're going to be late. Decent throw there. I want to make sure that we smooth that fake out. Opposite hand should be in the stomach. As we fake and we boot around, we got to make sure that we explode out, not to reach, but turn and sprint out of there. A very good throw on the cross route just then as well. Pete does a really, really good job of making these types of throws in the intermediate area and deep. We're now into the fourth progression. And you can take the F and the X on this here and interchange them as far as which one's third and which one's fourth. Of course, the play is called F cross, but this also works as a trap on the safety, or as we're high-low on them. We got something crossing his face, and we got something going behind him. So we're really making this decision off of that. But if we're going to throw this backside post, it's very good for the quarterback to set his feet and generate as much power as possible to get that ball out. The ball's going to be caught somewhere between 35 and 40 yards downfield. It's a big-time throw. Requires a big-time arm and quickly finding your balance. So we can't slow poke out of that. Again, it's one of those things where we have to see it before it happens. Usually coaches will tag this here. But for the quarterback to really understand and see what's going on progression-wise, watching what's happening with the safeties, it's huge. It's a major key. So let's watch on this one here. Pete may be a little bit winded here because we've been doing all this fake handoffs and the boots. He throws a good pass there. Very good job. Very good job. Don't get tired on me, Pete. You've been working so hard this summer, so much stronger than you were. He's moving their head around like he's just so tired, worn out. He wants me to have sympathy on him. You got to grind, buddy. Not bad. All right, we flipped the play call all the way around. So this would be fake 24, Y cross. We're starting off with the X, hitting him on the 9 route. We're cutting down the number of reps here for the sake of time during the session. So he's going 2 full and 2 half rollouts. Going to the left, again, the big thing is always frame your target, get within the frame. If we get within our frame, we can work. We can do some major work, and we can, be very accurate. Most times, if we're outside of the frame trying to make these throws, it can be very difficult. It takes a lot of great balance to make a lot of these passes here. But again, snapping that head around is a decent fake there. You got to be ready to get that head around and make a good throw. Snapping that wrist over, making sure we're not tilting that head. Good job here getting the eyes around. Coach with the hands. But very good job right there. We're in the second progression right now, hitting the F on the 10-yard out. Remember, everything here, we want everything to be caught around the eye level. So if we're aiming at the chin, we're in a good place right there. He does a good job again, getting me within his frame. Good ball placement right there. We want to have our receivers in position to catch the ball and to do something with it, as well as be on time. So he's got to snap his head around with the fake. He should be finding the receiver, or finding what's going on with coverage, rather. We know where our guys are going. What we don't know is what they're doing on defense. All right, he's on this one here. He's set up as we're hitting that Y cross. And again, be mindful, this Y is going up underneath the outside linebacker, but over the top of the inside linebacker. Is pretty much leveling out around the 12 to 15 yard range. So again, as Pete gets his eyes around, first thing he should be looking for is what's going on the outside with the X. Do we have the coverage that we want to make that particular throw? Is this the right down and distance to make that throw? If not, we look right back to our F on that out. Is this the right coverage? If it's a cover 2, we know we do not want to try and hit that 10-yard out. That's a no-no. Cover 1, cover 4, we got something we can work with. All right. From there, our eyes go to that Y coming across the field. He's going to find ground. Now here we go with the backside dig. And again, as the Z performs this backside dig, what we've got to do is make sure that we get around. Still going through our progressions here as much as we possibly can. Still trying to be as precise and as detailed with the fakes, with the one-hand pop fake, which is all we've gone over during this session. Please excuse the throwback, coach. That wasn't the greatest. But again, what we're doing here, coming off that fake, we're setting up at the top. So again, he's got to snap his head around, find what's going on downfield. Coverage dictates where we're going to go with that football. We have a safety that's lollygagging around, or very active, or undisciplined. We go over the top. And if the coverage calls for it, we love deep posts against 0 and against 4, because those safeties are going to be playing within 10 yards of the at around 10 yards of the box. So we can get behind those guys if we play it right. So again, the main thing is Pete has to make sure that after that fake, he gets his head around and really establishes that back foot through. And we want to continue to work on propelling that hip through the target, or not allowing that back foot to go back and push behind us as we make that throw, like a skateboard, like we're skateboarding. But rather, we want to bring that hip all the way through and finish with even feet. Oh man, look at that. Ooh.